Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to day number 2 of the SEA Qualifier number 2. I'm LD, I'm joined here by Bruno, and we are casting a best out of 1 between Team Fist, hailing from Vietnam, at MSIevoGT-TnC, or MSIevoGT-TnC is what I'm going to try and call them today. They, of course, are from the Philippines, so if you're a Pinoy, which I know quite a few of you are, if you're not watching GST, you're probably here. That's your team to root for. That's your dog in this race. Real quickly, as we see the draft begin to get underway, I just want to go over the tournament formats. We've had one team qualify so far. Yesterday, that was Neolution ES, which is the original Thai squad. There's like 7 different Neolutions, but this is the one from Thailand, the original Neolution. The loser bracket champion of this qualifier will qualify for the event. There is no grand finals because it's just a qualifier. So out of the 6 teams remaining, only one of them will actually get a spot in the main event. With all that being said, Bruno, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. I can't believe you're still awake.
Well, I mean, I've had a long day, and I was going to sleep a little bit grumpy, but you talked to me, and I said, well, what's the best way to go to sleep but casting a little bit of Dota, like getting the moods up, and then I can go to sleep in peace, finally.
You say that. What? Then the game takes like 45 minutes to start. Yeah, there was a bit of a delay because this always happens with the Pinoy teams because they always play from LAN cafes. So they have to wait for PCs to get free. They've got to set up, they've got to log into Dota, make sure that their mouse and keyboard are set up to their liking. They're not playing from the comfort of their home in most cases, so that definitely adds a lot of setup time. But hey, here we are, and hopefully you'll be quite happy by the time today is over.
Yeah, no, actually, I'm really excited about this. I mean, I haven't casted Pinoy Dota since, I think, the Beyond the Summit tournament back in May or so. So, I mean, it's really exciting to see all that battle growing and all that aggression. You say that Russian teams are aggressive, but until you watch some Pinoy Dota, you don't know what aggressive really means.
And it's funny because you're talking about the aggression of the Pinoys, but I think Fist is even more aggressive. They did a very similar draft yesterday. They went for, I think I told you it was an all-in push strat, but that was actually not entirely true. It was 4 pushing heroes and a Night Stalker mid, and, well, they're going to a similar strat again. They pick up the Undying quite early. Last time we saw them in their first game yesterday, which they lost, they went for a tri-lane with Undying, Jakiro, Keeper of the Light. Pretty much one of the strongest tri-lanes in the game. They had a good start in the laning stage, but they could not translate it. Or actually, no, sorry, they had a bad start in the laning stage. I think they were up against the Keeper. Yeah, I'm getting my games mixed up. And, well, hopefully they'll have better luck. Keeper was banned out by MSI, so if they want to go aggressive tri-lane, they certainly can, but we'll see what they do.
Yeah, I was looking right now. I mean, you know how Nyx Assassin is the first ban pretty much every single game.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm surprised now because reminding of the International 2 when Puppy picked the Nyx in the finals and everyone was like, wow, what a risky pick. And how things have changed now. Finally, people value the hero like that. And we see, I mean, I'm surprised to see Undying and Magnus both in game right now, but with 2 bans in the first stage, it's really hard. I mean, you have to ban Nyx, you have to ban Bad Rider. Keeper of the Light is getting banned a lot these days. And then you have that 4th position, which, I mean, Darkseer is a respectable ban. It's completely understandable to ban that. And it's opening so many quote-unquote overpowered heroes into the game that, I mean, every single game is really interesting to watch.
I mean, the key thing, I think, is what you said, is you only have 2 bans, and if you don't have first pick, you have to ban... you don't have to, but generally you ban Nyx and Bat, which means you can't respect ban a lot of other heroes. The enemy pretty much has the entire pool open. Whatever they want to first pick, they can get their hands on it. And we've seen teams take advantage of that in different ways, be it a Kodal first pick, a Mag. We've seen the Undying picked up early by some teams. And whatever you go for, the options are open because there's only 2 bans. Whereas if you look back at the International 2, I guess there were more quote-unquote imbalanced heroes back then, but I guess slightly after the event, it was some teams they banned the Darkseer, the Naga, and oh god, who was the other one? The Morphling?
No, Morphling. No, not the Morphling. Naga, Darkseer.
Who else was it? There was one more. Lycan. Was it Lycan?
Yeah, that's right. The Lycan front, yeah.
I guess there were sort of auto bans every game, but I don't know. It feels like Bat and Nyx are even more important to ban than those 3 heroes were.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I've even been seeing a lot of respect for the Shadow Demon as well. I mean, getting that 4th slot, getting Keeper of the Light, Shadow Demon away. It seems to be that those 2 supports eat the roar are running every single game. And for good reason. I mean, if you have a Shadow Demon in your defensive lane, there's no way an offensive tri-lane can get anything from you. I mean, you're going to get that farm into your carry, and he will survive any kind of aggressive trial against you. And the Keeper of the Light, I mean, you can play him whatever. I mean, he doesn't have a stun. So people, I mean, if you're new into the game, you'll see, well, he's a support, but he has no stun or slow or anything to actually help killing. But that nuke and that mana, like Chakra, it's just way too good for specific carries that are really famous right now, like Sven, Luna, and these carries with strong spells and short mana pools, well, Phantom Lancer as well. It just fits into the meta game right now, and it's all about laning phase. And I mean, I'm really excited because I really like this playstyle.
Oh, Fist. Right I mean, it's the same thing we saw them draft yesterday. Very similar. Going for the Night Stalker, the Prophet. Those were their two solos. They had the Night Stalker mid, the Prophet safe lane, and an aggressive tri-lane with the Undying +2. I think it was Jakiro and somebody else. We'll see if they do the same thing this game, but I think it's going to be very tough to get aggressive against MSI. And they have a lifestealer, very difficult to kill carry. Magnus, pretty escapable. Queen of Pain, obviously survivable. And on top of that, you've got Shadow Demon, and of course you can disrupt anybody that you tower dive. I think Team Fist is really going to have their work cut out for them. Well, there's the hero that you might be able to kill. The Leshrac is the last pick.
Yeah, but I mean, Shadow Demon, Leshrac, you know, the silly combo with the disruption into Split Earth and with the Lifestealer in there. If you want to go aggressive against that trade, you'll probably be trading kills. I mean, hopefully you'll get 2 for 1. But unless you have a perfect initiation in the lane stage, they will get one of your heroes when you go after them. So they'll have to be really careful. And I like the Nagasiren pick against the Lifestealer. Lifestealer is seen a lot of late recently, pretty much everywhere. And I mean, Nagasiren being such a strong anti-BKB hero,
yeah.
It really, really works against Lifestealer, whose biggest problem is he can't be kited. And Nagasiren says, you're not going anywhere, Lifestealer.
No kiting for you, absolutely. And I mean, along those lines, it also gives them a hero that's really powerful in the tri-lane, but can scale better into the late game. And that was the one thing I didn't like about their draft yesterday. I forget exactly who the 3 heroes were, but they didn't have anyone that scales well. In this game, that's not an issue for them. And oh god, I think my computer might actually be dying right now.
Don't die.
Don't die on me. Oh, I had the GEST stream open. Okay, I fixed it. So yeah, I love Tri-Lane Naga because she's a really great setup hero. Despite being a melee, she can initiate for the team in a lot of cases. She's pretty survivable. Obviously, Riptide is really effective in a Tri-Lane because 3 heroes auto-attacking, you're going to do a lot more physical damage that minus armor. But she can also clear creeps. Clear creeps. And obviously that's important. When you're in the offensive tri-lane, you have Prophet. You want to clear the creep wave, have him TP in from the safe lane, some of the triads, and then go for those early towers, probably around the time the first night starts. So even though they don't have that many traditional pushing heroes, I expect to see Fist going as 4 or 5 once this hits that first night time.
Well, I mean, they should, because that's how their team work, right? I mean, you can't just let Rubik and Undying into the lane. I mean, yeah, they're good and they have some killing potential, but that's not their game plan with those heroes. I mean, you're not vying for going late game with that lineup. You just have the diving power of the Night Stalker, the pushing power of the Nature's Prophet, Rubik being able to initiate. And I mean, there are a few things he can steal this game. He can steal RP, he can steal Blink from the Queen of Pain. You want that fast level 6 on him to make things happen, not just to play passive and farm.
Yeah, we'll see what they go for. I expect an offensive tri-lane, although they're maybe a little bit lacking in damage. Since, I guess Rubik does a decent amount once he hits level 3, but at the first couple levels, he's just a setup stun, and they already have one with the net. So we'll see if they go offensive, but they definitely have that capability, even though there's 2 melee heroes. And my concern is if you don't, MSI is really going to love getting those early levels up on their supports, and they can make great use of it. Plus, once Lifestealer gets level 6, he's very difficult to kill. We know Mag gets... Once Mag hits 6, it's tough to tower dive, so I feel like Fist, they pretty much have to go offensive tri-lane here.
Yeah, I mean, they've drafted themselves into that position because, I mean, even then, if they decide to go defensive tri-lane, you're putting Nature's Prophet at Harlane. You probably have to jungle him because there's no way Nature's Prophet can get even 1 point of experience against a tri-lane that has Shadow Demon and a Shrek.
Yeah, absolutely. And the tough thing is, even if you go offensive tri-lane, I mean, like we were talking about, it's a Lifestealer and it's a Shadow Demon. Unless you catch, the only way you're getting a kill there is if you catch really the Leshrac out of position, or the Shadow Demon out of position. Because if the Shadow Demon's in position, he's just going to disrupt whoever you go on, and they'll turn it around. So as long as Shadow Demon stays back, it's going to be hard to find the kills. But I still think they can be effective, just slowing down the Lifestealer's farm, and then once Prophet hits level 6 or 7, Night Stalker gets level 6 or 7, start pushing towers. And MSIevoGT, they don't really have the best counter push. They've got decent pushing heroes in Mag and Queen of Pain, but nobody who's just going to mow down a tower. So we'll have to see, but that's got to be the game plan for Fist. Try and deny the Lifestealer in the lane, and then once it hits that first nighttime, go for the towers.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm concerned. I know that you're a really good Night Stalker player. I've seen you play, and you play really well. But I mean, you probably know about the Queen of Pain matchup. It's really, really hard for that Night Stalker.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit concerned for that as well. I mean,
it's really hard for him, and some other melee heroes do better against Queen of Pain. Heroes like, say, Dragon Knight or Pandit, heroes that have AoE to clear the creep wave. Sure, you're getting harassed a lot by Shadow Strike, and obviously that's the big problem when you're a melee hero against Queen of Pain. She can just harass you so damn well. But when you're a hero like Panda or DK, you can still clear the waves, Bottle Crow, and farm a lot. Night Stalker can't really farm a lot, even Bottle Crowing, because you void a creep. You're using a full nuke to get one creep. It's not really a great trade, so you're right. That is going to be a point of concern for them. And if they go offensive tri-lane, that really, well, we'll see if they actually, you can't really abandon the Naga in the bottom lane. She's not going to get anything done there. Maybe they could leave Undying there and have him as more of the farmer, gank with the Naga Rubik, but that's certainly awkward to say the least, so we'll see what they do.
The problem with the Naga and the Rubik is that they both have really reliable stuns, but none of their stuns deal any damage. I mean, when you want to gank, you want to have a stun that deals some damage, like Impale, like Magic Missile. Yeah, exactly, something like that. Because if both your stuns don't do any damage at all, I mean, you rely on right-clicking, and Naga is not the best right-clicker in the game by no means, and Rubik is just okay. So, I mean, it's like, yeah, you have the initiation, but can you actually seal the deal? And that's kind of tough.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, you look at this lane, maybe they would be a little bit, if they want to go aggressive, they'd probably be better off with something like Alina, as opposed to, something that isn't a setup stun, maybe doesn't scale as well into the late game, but offers you more of a punch in the laning stage, and also, of course, the AoE. We'll see, though. We'll see what Fist can do in the laning stage. But speaking of Fist, I realize we haven't really talked about who these teams are, and I'm sure the viewers aren't familiar with them. Fist is a team hailing from Vietnam. We saw them play one game yesterday, and actually, let me check the bracket because I'm forgetting who it was. They played, that was the first round match we cast. Oh, they played against the Neolitian team from Thailand that already qualified. So that's the first place team coming out of this qualifier. And, well, they got knocked down. Fist got knocked down by them, but no shame in that. Yet here they are. If they lose this game, they're out of the event. If they are able to win it, they move forward. And as for their opponents, MSIevoGT-TnC, this is a merger. It was MSIevoGT and TnC. They used to be two separate teams. They did merge recently. 2 of the players for MSIevoGT joined with 3 of the players from TnC. So Iwi, as well as Chemo, who's the captain of MSI, now playing with TnC. So it's a merger. I haven't really seen them play with the new roster, but the old TnC was by far the best Dota 2 team in the Philippines, at least who had been competing in major events. And I'm excited to see this team in action whenever we get to, because apparently there's no hurry to do it.
Yeah, I mean, have to take time. I was actually looking at the brackets, and apparently, yeah, EvoGT lost versus
they forfeited.
Sino Wonder.
They actually
they forfeited.
They waited around for Sino because Sino was like 20-30 minutes late, and then MSI, once we were finally ready to go, MSI said, "Well, actually, we have another LAN tournament to play." Apparently, it was for one of their sponsors, so their hands were kind of tied. That was someone who directly sponsors the team was running the event, so they're pretty much expected to appear. But even so, you got to say the scheduling maybe not the best. But hey, they didn't play. They forfeited. I still think they should be by far the team with not just the inside track to win this game, but to win the whole tournament. If they actually play the games, which, at the rate they're going, I don't know if they're going to.
You kind of have to do that in order to get there. But yeah, and the winner of this game will be playing Awake, which got, I think, didn't get to play their game, did they?
No, because
Pacific
Revitalize they forfeited the whole event. From what I understood, from what I was told, they have not been playing Dota 2 at all. They've not been they've been playing in pubs, but they've not been playing as a team. So I don't think they would have gone very far anyway. But yeah, it was a forfeit, and so Awake got that berth into the next round of the winners bracket, where they actually really probably should have beaten QMX, but just fell apart at the end. But definitely had the edge and the position to be able to take the game. So that's in a match I'm interested to see how Awake's able to do in the next round. But right now they're waiting in that second stage of the losers bracket. And of course, only the one team that's left standing today will move forward into the main event. So you lose, you go home. That's pretty much how it works.
Yep. And, well, I mean, it's good for them because after this, the real thing starts Monday, right? I mean, this is the qualifiers.
Mm-hmm.
We have some games today and tomorrow? Is tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow's Monday for them. Tomorrow is Sunday for me, but so tomorrow the main event starts, right?
Yeah, we don't really have a break at all. As soon as this qualifier ends, we come back tomorrow. I don't know the exact time, but I'll try and find it out by the time today's broadcast is done. And we jump right into group stage play. So there's group stage play, and then there's playoffs. A total of $1,500 in prizes available, and it's a 2-week tournament. So it's a pretty quick run overall. It's not one of these long, drawn-out, epic slugfest marathons like Raid Call or the Defense. It'll be over and done with in 2 weeks, but we'll have a lot of great games along the way. And of course, the main event, for those who don't know, features a lot of the top SEA teams, particularly the new Orange. I know a lot of people are excited to see their roster, adding Ohio to the mix. And of course, the new Zenith with Yamate and Ice.
Yeah. Will Ohio play mid? I mean,
They've been putting Mushi on the hard carry role, and they've been putting Ohio mid, which I think is the right decision because whenever you watch Mushi play, or whenever he would play for the old Orange with their previous roster, even when he goes mid with a traditional 2-position hero, he plays it like a 1. He's farming a lot, he's split pushing, he's not joining the fights the way that other solo mids do, like Ferrari or Xiao 8 or a lot of the Chinese players. He's much more of a farmer, so I think he's better suited for the 1 role.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, he really plays amazingly well certain heroes like Queen of Pain and some other heroes that are traditionally good in the mid lane. But yeah, just like you said, he plays like a carry, and he still has the control of the game. I mean, sometimes you see carry players that are just worried and concerned about farming and farming and farming, and they just tunnel vision into that and let the rest of the team run the game. But I mean, he has the ability to play the carry and control the flow, which is quite rare. I don't think there are many carries that can do that.
And plus, it's not like... I would argue that it's not even really a downgrade at all to put Ohio in that role. I think he's just as skilled as Mushi. Not as experienced, but he's shown that he can... we saw that in... what was it? In the G League, that Ohio's still a little green under the ears. But he's definitely got the skill, and he was actually Mushi's prodigy. He played for the Orange Academy team, and I think he was trained to a certain extent by Mushi. And hey, perhaps the apprentice will become the master soon enough.
Yep. Well, what do you say we introduce the teams?
Absolutely.
Want to start with MSI?
Sure. We have Iwi playing that solo mid Queen of Pain. We have Cast, the former captain of TNC. Apparently, he is the captain of this team. Chemo is not. He was very firm about that. He's playing the Leshrac. We have Chemo on the Shadow Demon. In the safe lane, we have Trio playing the Lifestealer, and in the Suicide lane, it's Jesse Vash, who is one of my personal favorite Pinoy players on the Magnus.
Great. And I put myself into an awkward position because I'm probably going to say all the names wrong.
I just want to point out Night Stalker's items.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's unusual. That's very, very unusual. I mean, but I think instead of going for 3 branches, he went straight for the Gauntlet, whatever. Anyways, for Feast, we have in the offensive try. Oh, well, just.
Oh, God. Here we go. Are they going to go in? They are. Nagasaki's taking a lot of damage, dropping really low. There's no way to heal her up. She might fall. She's down to 1 hit. Did not try to salve. Might have been able to lift through that otherwise. Oh, Bruno, this is not a good start. And he's got 5 decay stacks, and he's just running for the hills.
And it all started when they all started fighting for dewarding, and now you see them pinging there. They just wanted to deward, and they were so aggressively trying to do so that they just got initiated on. But anyways, I was trying to introduce the team. So for Fist, we have On the Undying, Little Bird, that's the easiest name. Rubik also in the aggressive tri-lane, 1 High Nice. Banana is the carry, Naga Siren also in the bottom lane. And then the weird Gauntlets of Strength. Night Stalker is being played by Min Manly.
I love that name, by the way. That is really the best name ever.
And finally, on the safe lane farmer, Nature's Prophet, we have Huong Lua or something like that. That's a really hard name. But I mean,
yeah, I mean, most likely the Night Stalker just wants to rush an urn, and he doesn't want to waste money on branches when he could be getting that urn just a little bit quicker. It's still a little bit curious. It also gets Queen of Pain to go for a naked bottle. I know Winter said that he's actually a believer in it, and oh, I think it was the courier, no, don't be the courier. Oh, Iwi, that's not how you. That's not how Min Manly wanted to start this layoff. Oh, and the worst thing, it had his bottle. I thought he actually still had it on the hero. So he not only loses the courier, he loses his bottle. And this mid lane is officially a train wreck. Bottom lane not looking good because they gave up the first blood. And then the off lane, Jesse Vash is out farming the Prophet and really dominating him, which is, you give this Prophet the safe lane to, you know, get a really fast Midas and have a decent start, and he's not doing that.
well, I mean,
Iwi.
oh no.
Oh, he might die actually. He's in trouble here. Nope. He's gonna die to the creep. No, he bottles up. Well,
is under attack.
This game already.
Yeah. Also, the donkey almost died because he was tower dabbing and the donkey was following him, so he got a hit from the tower. But just one hit won't kill the donkey. So, wow, quite chaotic so far. I mean, exactly what I expected. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't necessarily. It's something you have to be really careful about when you're laning against Queen of Pain mid, especially, especially when she's pushing the wave. Is you have to make sure that courier is really far back because she's got blink, so she can just jump in and kill it, where other heroes wouldn't be able to punish that. But so Miss Micro costs him a bit, and it's hard. We already talked about it. It's going to be a hard lane. I gotta say, this is looking like it might turn out to be the same story for Fist, which is they go for a lineup that has to have a good start, and they don't, and then it's just very hard to come back.
Well, I mean, it's a very greedy lineup. And we might have initiation. Oh, great. Oh, they will get a kill here.
Yeah, Rubik in trouble. Banana not where he wants to be either. Really far up. Wanted to finish off the Shadow Demon. Trying to run away. Undying, however, as Fork the K stacks up. Get the real man. It's apparently the zombie. Actually, there's two zombies in this lane. I just realized that. But the tall green one is the one who's running away. And here comes Queen of Pain with the double damager, and she's going to look to pick up a couple of kills. Wanhee Nice is in trouble. She rotated down in the bottom lane. She doesn't have Blink off cooldown for a while, so is not actually going to find a kill. Double damage Queen of Pain. In that situation, you'd expect her to get one.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone was running already, and the biggest thing was that Nature's Prophet had to be on there, tried to get something. He didn't get a kill. He just lost some time. I think he died even. Yeah, he died even that, so...
Yeah, he got picked up by the Lifestealer. He just suicide bombed into the middle of the fight, basically.
Exactly, so... I mean, that means that the Magnet is totally winning that lane.
Oh, come on, this is too much. Constant aggression. There's no mana for Void. He was 3 mana short. Or I think he might have been able to actually kill the Queen of Pain. That's unfortunate. Meanwhile, top lane, Jesse Vash misses the skewer. If he had hit it, he would have gone for the kill on Huan La. And that death for the Prophet, even worse, Bruno, because he's going for a naked Midas rush, and now it's going to be delayed by a good minute or two.
Yeah, I mean, when you get... that's really tough. You won't get it before 7 minutes with this. It's okay, but it's not what they need right now. They just need to make something happen. They're losing all 3 lanes. And, you know, I mean, when you lose 2, you might have the ability to make a comeback. But when you lose all 3, I really wish they will just end this lane phase, and I think they want that too. They just want to end the lane phase, group as 5, and try to make things happen on their own terms, because the laning stage is not working at all.
Here's the problem. How are they going to do that? Night Stalker doesn't even have boots. He's only level 5. Prophet is going for the Midas, doesn't have it yet. Just spared himself a salve. These are not items. Without these basics, you can't even find openings. Action bottom lane, Banana's in trouble. Tombstone is dropped. Night Stalker, as well as the Queen of Pain, are heading over here. The Tombstone really quickly killed off by Lifestealer, and this is something we've seen before, is Lifestealer just is very powerful against Undying. He can deal with the Tombstone easily. He's tanky, and he also counters tanks very well, and he's really neutering the effectiveness of this Undying.
Yep. Oh, good thing is that Nature's Prophet is already level 6, because I saw a Wrath of Nature flying around, and Night Stalker is not level 6 yet, which is quite terrible. You know, I've been paying attention to Night Stalkers and mid heroes in general. It seems that nowadays about 4 minutes 40 is the average time you get level 6, unless, I mean, you've been heavily denied or removed out of lane for a solo mid hero. And I mean, being at 7 minutes is still level 5, it's really bad.
Jesse Vash did rotate towards mid. It's giving Prophet a little space to farm, but well, this off-lane mag, you know, it's a matchup that, honestly, the Prophet just can't do a whole lot to counter that mag 1v1, and Jesse Vash is actually baiting this one beautifully. He could hit a 2-hero skewer RP, but he mistimed. No, he doesn't. He just caught him, and everybody's going to explode. I thought he mistimed the skewer there.
I was certain that he would miss it, but he grabbed it with his behind his hind legs, I guess.
I think he actually I think he missed the skewer, but then RP'd while he was driving by. Wait, can you not do that anymore? I forget. Is that?
No, I don't know. Maybe. Let's say he did. Just
it looked because it looked like the skewer was either that or his hind legs, like you said, just pull the ball.
Yeah. And you see how the Naga Siren rotated top. They said, okay, well, we're not getting anything bottom. We're just dying all the time. At least we'll give something to the Naga, which buys, I think, the Arcane Boots now? I don't know. He's just waiting. Should buy the Arcane Boots. No, he went for Treads. Rather unusual. I mean, I haven't seen a Naga Siren going for Treads in quite a long while.
I was trying to figure out who you're talking about, but also trying to catch the action.
Banana, yeah.
Quita Pain forced the TP out, but they blew the Prophet-ul, and when you put that Prophet on the safe lane, finding kills with the ult is very important. Bottom lane going on to Rubik. I don't know if they can bring him down yet. He's got the power turrets, not phase boots. Not really as good for killing at these early levels. And I'm surprised to see Night Stalker still fighting this. Sure, you've got a haste, but you're just not killing that lifestealer. And in the end, he will back off.
The haste just ran out. If he had stayed there for one more second, he would have been dead. But good play for him, just noting that the haste was going to run out. Anyways, I mean, he didn't accomplish much. And he has just boots and a gauntlet in his bottle. He did much more.
It's really an unmitigated disaster for them because they don't have the better team fight. They're up against a mag. Naga's a great setup ult, but they don't really have a great follow-up for it. I don't really know what they could do at this point. They've got to somehow just force mistakes, go for smoke ganks, baits. They're not going to win head-on. They're not going to win by trying to outfarm their opponents. Fist is in a pickle.
Yeah, and they don't even have the better team fight because...
Yeah,
they do have the Undying.
Jesse Vash is getting caught.
They're going to get it.
He's not going to get away. Meanwhile, bottom lane, there was a dive. Rubik bites the dust. And they do get the mag, just barely though. That was a really nice timing for the TP. He was like maybe a quarter of a second away from escaping.
Yeah, I mean, but anyways, now here's when they make something happen. I mean, they just got their first kill in the game. You do that, you have to make a statement. You have to go on heavily, at least attempt to push, at least to do something. And they're kind of not doing that right now. They conceded the mid tower because no one TP'd to defend. I don't think anyone could have done anything. But they're also losing bottom tower now, and they just got a kill. It's not enough. They have to be more aggressive, make something happen. Even if you commit a mistake, anything is better than just letting yourself die.
You gotta punch him in the mouth, Bruno. And, well, they got the jab in, but where's that punch in the mouth? We're not seeing it yet, and this first nighttime over fairly soon. He hasn't got the ult yet. He doesn't even have a max void. This is... Night Stalker's having a good time. Could easily be like level 8 or 9 at this point, and he's only level 6 as a solo mid.
It is tough for him, but well, I mean...
And the thing is, they have a great counter for him with the Lifestealer. He's going to be very squishy later on.
Yeah. And the Lifestealer, speaking of, almost has his armlet, and oh, there he go. Look at that Night Stalker die.
Been manly. Wow. Not looking so manly right now.
Really.
So Bruno, what do you do at this point if you're Fist? You're under siege, you're losing towers, you're losing kills, nighttime's about to end. Your Prophet has a Midas, I think that's the one thing that's going your way. How do you drag yourself back into this game?
Well, I think you start trading. I mean, even if it's unfavorable trading, you just start trading. I mean, they were pushing there, they could have easily been pushing the mid lane in exchange or something. I mean, you have to make something happen. Even if you don't get the tower, and even if you trade a tier 1 for a tier 2, it's still better than just conceding every single tower and every single kill in the game. If you can't kill the heroes, well, go and farm the jungle. If you can't push the towers, well, go at least to the lane whose creeps are closest to your base and try to get something there. But right now they're running like they don't have any plan or any idea of what to do. And they need to start making trades. Otherwise, they will just... the game will go out of hand really, really fast.
A wise man once told me, towers can't run away. And I think you're suggesting that Fist should abuse that fact and pick on the poor innocent towers. And I think you're right. There's not a whole lot else they can do, especially with this nighttime ending.
But you see the towers, they're really healthy. Like, the worst tower for MSI is the mid tower, which is at 66% HP, more or less. So, and you don't have a, I mean, yeah, you have a pushing lineup if things are going your way. I mean, if you have it's level 7 and dying with max tombstone, if you have level 9 Night Stalker with lots of strength items, but the way they are right now, they can't really push. Nature's Prophet, yeah, I mean, he's doing okay. Oh, look at that Rubik.
Oh, that Rubik is about to be very sad. He's not level 6, the ult. And an easy kill. And meanwhile, they did smoke towards top. They pick off the Night Stalker on the back of that. They still have RP, and here comes the Skewer. Doesn't actually catch him with the Skewer. Then RP's only the Undying, and the Naga ult should allow them to disengage safely. They really can't fight this, but hey, they at least force the RP and get away. Or do they try to fight it? Maybe they do. The zombies chopping away. I don't know. The zombies are strong, but are they really strong enough? It doesn't look like it. Oi, 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 I really think they should have ran there, but Prophet wants to say something different about it. And I don't think he's going to be able to say anything against it. They're chasing, and Huan La is going to bite the dust. This is going to be yet another death for our Prophet. And Prophet, who used to be auto first pick material, has looked very mortal over the past couple of months, and it continues today.
Yeah, and I mean, let's not forget the hero pool was quite different back then when Prophet was there. I mean, I remember when Dota 2 came out, the top 3 heroes were Night Stalker, Nature's Prophet, and my friend the Lich, which you don't see anymore.
Well, you see the Lich a lot in Source Filmmaker videos. There's a great one. How the Lich stole Christmas. I just showed it earlier for the stream.
Look at that Shadow Demon, so cheeky going, just diving into the tower for the disruption.
He actually maxed disruption over Soul Catcher, didn't take any points of Shadow Poison. It just shows you that that's a very confident Shadow Demon build. That's a I'm definitely going to kill you. I'm not worried about needing to scout. I'm not really worried about getting caught out of position. And I don't need to farm. I'm just going to go for hero kills.
Look at that. There are 2 people going for Lifestealer, but they just immediately turn it around. Lifestealer just walks away, does his thing. And now they're going to Prophet.
It's so hard to go aggressive against the Lifestealer. And that's why we see most teams, when they're up against one, they pick something that could just out-farm them and win later on, like a Phantom Lancer. But when you try to go aggressive against a Nyx or a Lifestealer, you really need to have a dominant lane or a really dominant mid-game lineup, and they just did not have the start they needed to do anything to them. And now when they go in, Bruno, it's not pretty.
It is really a massacre at this point. And I have to say, and this is really a personal opinion, but I don't think that Lifestealer is overpowered at all. I mean,
no, I agree.
Some people were complaining recently. I mean, I think there were a couple of Navi games where they picked Lifestealer and they were doing like really, really well. I mean, he's a strong hero, but I mean, he's still a melee single target hero with long cooldowns, no nuke, and relies on his right click a lot. So easily counterable if you are having a good time. If you're not, well, I mean, every hero is tough. I mean.
And there's always Shadow Demon. That's the other thing. But MSI drafted very intelligently. They made sure they got the Shadow Demon and the Lifestealer. And when Shadow Demon's on the enemy team, how often have we seen Lifestealers just be useless? Quite a lot. But I think it's more about the supporting cast for the Lifestealer and what the opposing team picks to counter him. Along the lines of what you were saying, as opposed to the hero himself.
Exactly. I mean, the hero is still strong in these kind of situations, but oh, they're going Naga side. They just don't care at this point.
BKB is up on Iwi, and that's going to be a sad time for somebody. He decides he wants to punish Banana. Banana will fall. Jesse with a big 2-man RP, or 3-man actually, blinking on Dying Caught as well. Now skewering forward, driving Night Stalker into the ill-fated Prophet, and now the Prophet getting body blocked. Jesse Bash just showing off, flexing his muscles at this point, and this might just be the end for Fist. They have just gotten absolutely hammered this game.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm going to be fair with you. At this point, it looks like a pub stomp, really.
It's a learning experience for them. You know, we talked about it. I talked about it with Winter yesterday, and sure, they're getting destroyed, but you learn a lot more from getting destroyed than you ever will from having a one-sided game going your way, or even an even game. This is how you learn and grow as a team. So it's one of their first big international tournaments, and hopefully we'll see them come back stronger next time. But Their run is pretty much over at this point.
I just want to say that, do you remember the first time that the Chinese team started playing in international tournaments in Dota 2? But everyone was saying, oh, DK looks so weak. I mean, every European team can beat DK or LGD.
Not even just the top Chinese Dota 1 teams. Like, people were saying that about DK, but of course, you know, they were amazing in Dota 1. But like you were saying, I mean, this was even for teams like For Love. You know, teams, everyone was saying, oh, they're awful, and then they qualify for G League. They actually beat DK on LAN.
Yes.
Every team that's getting used to Dota 2 or getting used to playing competitively in a particular game, they grow and they grow quickly. But I'm not sure we can necessarily say Fist is quite gonna grow as quickly as DK. But like you're saying, there's definitely room for improvement.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and you shouldn't just count one team out because they had a bad game or a bad tournament, because though things change, and I mean, sometimes it's all about adapting to the latency, the ping, your new teammates or anything. I mean, it's really easy to just criticize and say, well, these guys don't know how to play, but just give them 1 week. I mean, enough scrims and anything can happen.
Absolutely, and you even look at MFC. Well, they ended up having some problems to sort of flip up their roster, but they looked awful after they didn't go to the International 2. They were getting destroyed by kind of subpar teams, and they had some good performances versus Orange, but really weren't playing that well. Then, you know, we saw them at the GST finals, and they really stepped their game up, as well as the GST challenge, where suddenly Ohio was playing like one of the best solo mids in Asia, and you know, that doesn't happen overnight. It took time for them to get to that point. Then they abandoned the roster, basically, and switched things up. But we could definitely see some improvement in the future. All that being said, I also feel like just the way that... I think for Fist, the big issue is their drafts. I just think they're not picking... They're picking lanes that have to win, but they're not picking lanes that have a very high chance of winning. You talked about the Night Stalker Queen of Pain matchup. They also really favor the safe lane Prophet, and Prophet just isn't a strong... He's not a lane dominator. You don't really want to give him the safe lane unless you have incredibly strong lanes across the map, and you just want that +1 in every fight, because he's not going to shut down a lot of the other heroes that go to the offlane, like Mag, Batrider. I mean, the list goes on. Heck, Prophet loses to a lot of carries 1v1. Like, Anti-Mage can easily shut him down. Amongst quite a few
Luna can defeat him. Pretty much anything. Bounty Hunter kills Nature's Prophet.
So,
I don't know.
I mean, for me, that's kind of encouraging. I'd rather have a team that has issues with drafting, because if you can fix that, then suddenly if you already have the skill or the baseline awareness, you can play much better. And we've seen some good decision-making from Fist in certain situations. Like their first game of the tournament, they actually were doing decently well against Neolution. They had a couple of ganks, a couple of things that went their way, but, you know, it's just not setting yourself up for success when you draft this way, I feel.
Yeah, and Banana the Naga Siren seems to be paying attention to my try to trade whatever, and he's forfeiting his base to take a tier 1 tower top. I commend their effort and good ideas, but I think it's too little too late by now.
It's a 25k goal lead at 20 minutes. It's a 20...
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not coming back from that.
Even Sing Sing couldn't possibly throw this game. Have you seen that? Have you seen that video?
I've seen that game, yeah. The fountain diving.
Oh, yeah,
and if you look at the levels, you see even Shadow Demon, which is the lowest support, is higher than the higher level from Fist, which is the Nature's Prophet. So yeah, it's really hard to win when you're going like that. So I think it's... Yeah, now they'll push the bottom tower. They'll just get a couple more kills the tower and then just straight to the throne.
And
let's see, maybe
this might be the end. Here comes the big bad life story. He's got an Abyssal Blade. He's got the Aegis. He will be... Oh, he did not use Rage yet, and so as a result, the Naga ult can hold him in place, but that's only temporary, and he's still healthy. Queen of Pain comes in. Everybody's magic immune or basically invulnerable. RP cast and then canceled and then cast again. RP was stolen, I think, by Rubik right as he died. His dying breath. He fights on. Too little, too late.
Too little, too late. Yeah, and the GG call is here.
So Bruno, I think you're actually leaving quite soon to head overseas. This may be the last time that you appear on Beyond the Summit as a good American. And by American, I mean somebody in the Americas, of course.
Yeah.
You're betraying us. You're a traitor of your race and of your people, and you're going to Europe, even though you're actually a European citizen. But forget about that. That's neither here nor there. Are you excited? Are you all packed and ready to go?
I'm really excited. I've already packed and unpacked everything because I need to see if everything fits in both my suitcases, and it did. So I took everything out again because I might want to use some of these clothes. But yeah, I mean, next Sunday I will be flying for Sweden, and I'll be arriving Monday. I think you'll see something from me after that. Maybe Tuesday I'll be making an appearance at the Good Studio show. I don't know.
Yeah, can you get them to clean their act up? Because when I hear them calling the G League the G1 League, I have no idea what half the Asian tournaments are. Come on, guys, get your act together. Bruno, you need to be the Adam BC of Dota for the GD Studio, because he knows the shit for StarCraft.
Oh, he does. He definitely does. I'll try to see what I can do with these guys.
Alright, I trust in you, Bruno. Unfortunately, guys, that will be the end of the line for the Vietnamese Hope Fist. They are going home. MSI Evo GT, no surprises. They do take this game, and they take it in one of the most one-lopsided fashions imaginable. I'm LD, twitter.com/LDDota if you enjoy my cast. You want to follow me. He's Bruno, of course, and he now has, I must add, a personal Twitter. Twitter.com/StatsmanBruno. I was telling him for a while he should get one. I'm sure a lot of other people were, and finally, he's obliged us. So, Bruno, thanks for joining me for the cast.
Thank you, LD. I see you later. I'm going to sleep right now, but have fun with the rest of the games, and you tell me tomorrow how it went.
Sweet dreams, buddy. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this game. There is a lot more SEA League action coming up. We have, I think, at least 5 games headed your way. Or no, a minimum of 4 games. They're best out of ones until the loser bracket final. So more games coming your way, 4 or possibly 5. Winter will be joining me later. Maybe not for the next game, but as soon as he can get home from the LAN tournament he's at, stay tuned. More SEA League action coming up soon.